Hello everyone. It's Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah, it is Monday. Sometimes I feel like it's Tuesday, but I'm here with another edition of Travel the World as a speaker, coming to you live here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today we're going to do some boring stuff. We're going to talk about using Freshbooks as a speaker. Now, because we have to talk about accounting and keeping up with things that you're using, keeping up with your money. So I'm going to just tell you about the one thing that I'm using that I absolutely love. I get nothing out of telling you this. It's not a sponsored post or anything, but I do want to tell you about FreshBooks and how I think it's probably one of the easier things to start using when you are launching your speaking career. So we're going to talk about managing money as a speaker. We're going to talk a little bit of travel because this is Travel the World as a speaker. And we're going to talk about speaking, all of those things. I am your host, Phylecia Jones. Hey. And this is brought to you by iFind You Close. If you are looking for help in finding speaking gigs, I want you to come check us out at iFindYouClose.com. Here on the Instagram, you can just check the link in the bio. On YouTube, just go down in this description. Go check us out because every Monday we post brand new speaking opportunities. And this week is actually some pretty good ones. So if you have an audience that are women in business, entrepreneurship, working moms, military, women in the military, I'm telling you, this week are some pretty good gigs from inspirational speakers. They're looking for inspirational speakers, business strategy, leadership, all of those things, diversity and inclusion. I want you to come check us out. So go to iFindYouClose.com and just see what we got going on. So of course, I like to do the two things that I love, and that's talking about speaking and traveling and how you can leverage speaking to travel. So I want to kind of tell you, I really don't have a travel story for you, but since we're talking about money today, I want to tell you how I can afford to travel. Now, nobody really asks me how I can afford to travel, but I've always given this advice. When it comes to travel, one of the things that we do in our house, because I keep up with all the money, is I create a vacation account at my bank. So I bank with a local credit union. Absolutely love it. No issues. Haven't had any issues since I've been here with them. And of course, I have all these different bank accounts. And yeah, I'm one of those people. I manage out of multiple bank accounts. But I have a vacation account. And the nickname is literally called vacation account. So when I go to the bank and I was like, I want to put money into my vacation account, they're like, oh, cool. Where are you going? Like, nowhere yet. But the reason why we have this vacation account is to not get muddled with savings. It's not to get muddled with paying bills. It is purely for vacation. So all of the extra money, we auto draft money into it every month. And any additional money. So like, if for those of you who were able to get a stimulus check, if your bills are covered, you put that extra money there. Any refunds from taxes, you put all of that money over there so that you can eventually take a vacation. And that's kind of what we do. And of course, when the vacation account is zero, we go camping or we stay our butts at home. So the rules around our vacation account is, as long as money is there, you can blow it however it needs to be blown. And then when it's gone, you're staying home watching TV. So go ahead and start, paying attention to Anthony Bourdain shows and reruns, because that's the only way you're going to travel. So that is kind of how I keep up with traveling and vacationing. So go check out your local bank, open up a vacation account and start funding it. So that way you never have an excuse not to take a vacation. But on top of that, we have to talk about speaking and how you can leverage public speaking so that you can travel the world, so you can take additional vacations. So that vacation account isn't always just funding your travel. It's funding the fun things that you do when you travel. So, oh my gosh. So we're going to talk about that today, but we got to do the boring stuff around all of this speaking, this traveling, building a business around it. We got to talk about finances. And you have to excuse me because I ate something and it is not agreeing with whatever's in my throat, you know? So, but we really do have to pay attention to the finances when it comes to doing speaking. So, if you are leveraging speaking to grow your business, to grow your brand, to travel, we've talked about this before where I highly recommend you build a business around your speaking career. Even if you are a 9 to 5 person, get you a simple sole proprietor LLC and start keeping up and tracking all of the things that you're doing, because you do have some taxable benefits around creating a business with what you're doing. But at the same time, you have to manage the finances of it. You have to manage the finances of what you are doing in this business, in this speaking business, in your speaking career. Because what I typically find is that, and even myself, you can spend a lot of money trying to be a speaker. You can spend a lot of money trying to be a speaker. So that's why we have to keep up with return on investments. How much money are we willing to spend? How much money we're not willing to spend? How much we're willing to invest in all of this. Now, one of the things that I absolutely love, so for those of you who are here on the YouTube, I'm actually going to share my screen, go over here to the main camera. For those of you who are on Instagram, you're going to have to come join us over here on YouTube if you want to see all the pretty graphics. They're not that pretty, but if you want to see the graphics, you got to come join us over here on YouTube. But right now, just use your imagination. Just imagine a landing page with people on it. There you go. Talking about math. No, but actually, this is, I wanted to show you all Freshbooks. And Freshbooks is an accounting software. And I know a lot of us, we know about QuickBooks, we know about Xero. Now, I actually do like those to some degree. They can be very overpowering and they can be very overwhelming. And I had to switch, and I've tried both of them because, I was a money coach and I kept up with all of these different apps. But one of the things that I absolutely loved about FreshBooks was that it was actually fairly simple. I like the design of their user interface. It was very, very, very simple. And for someone like me that was running a sole proprietor business, this was all I needed, especially when it came to, drafting up invoices for when I'm speaking. I like that inside of FreshBooks, not only can I can do the proposal inside of FreshBooks, and then as soon as somebody signs it, I can flip it into an invoice and we're done. And of course, there are quite a few software programs. They are very up to date now, but that was one of the challenges I had a couple of years ago because a lot of them didn't have the proposal feature. And that's what I really did like about what am I talking about FreshBooks, because I used to try to do like a separate contract, and then as soon as you get the contract, you got to do all this extra work. I really wanted something to be very, very seamless. And I know there's some other things, things like Dubsado and things like that. Hey, if that works for you, go ahead and do it. But I also wasn't only doing services. So I needed something else that was a little bit more robust so I can keep up with my profit and loss statements and do all of the things. Hey, Annette. Annette is hanging out with us on YouTube. I hope you are doing well. So we're talking about the finances and, how you track money. And I'm just talking about one of the things that I love, and that is FreshBooks. It has been very simple, very seamless for me to use. Not only can I keep my proposals in it, as soon as someone signs, I can flip it over into an invoice, and it tracks everything, plus all of the other things that I'm doing with how I'm raising money. You can, bringing revenue in. And I do like that with Zapier, which you can use with a lot of these other software tools, Zapier, however you want to say it. You can start bringing in other software programs that are tracking the business that you're doing and how you're collecting money. So I will say right now, I use Acuity. Acuity is connected to my FreshBooks. So when somebody books an hourly consulting session with me, it goes straight over there. I don't have to go and find the money and oh my gosh, where did my finances go? It's all in one place. So I highly recommend if you are not using something like a FreshBooks, you need to go figure out a way to track all of your expenses and your revenue right now. And especially if you're brand new to this as a speaker, it's better to do it now than wait until later. Now, if you want to go old school with pen and paper and a spreadsheet, knock yourself out. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to do all of that stuff. And you're going to want a place where you can kind of keep everything fairly seamless and fairly useful. One thing that they've done with FreshBooks, they've added a couple of new features over the year. Like right now, you can actually have people pay for things on your website, which is kind of cool. They never had that feature before, and it goes straight into your revenue totals and for your profit and loss. Got to be able to pull a profit and loss at the end of each month, each quarter, and at the end of the year. Annette is asking, I tried FreshBook years ago, but now since you're talking about it again, I'm going to check it out again. Now, I will say this, there is no accounting software that is 100% perfect. They will all kind of bother you in some kind of way. That's why you have to find one, Annette, that is the least bothersome. And I've tried Xero. It bothered me the most. QuickBooks bothered me, but it wasn't as bad as Xero. And FreshBooks was the one that was like, okay, I can work with this. And I did like that it was just seamless. If for someone like me, I like to track my finances each week and each month. So it was just perfect. And one of the real reasons why I had to do it is because when I started having to invoice a lot for speaking, I just needed a place to keep up with everything because I was literally all over the place. You know, I had a CRM, for speaking, I had individual contracts I was sending out, and the selling feature that I liked with FreshBooks was the proposal feature, because now when I'm working with a one-on-one client or when I'm working with an organization for speaking, I can draft up the proposal. Actually, it's already in there as a template, draft it up, send it out, make sure I got everybody's name spelled right, send it to them. And they say, yeah, I agree, boom. And next thing you know, it's an invoice. It's like, I just love the fact that it's just all in one, because it was getting a little stressful trying to keep up with all these things. Now, of course, with technology and a lot of the tools that they have, I know that a lot of things are a lot more seamless. But, you know, when I started using FreshBooks, oh gosh, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, that was one of the challenges that I was having, of trying to keep everything in one place and having it all associated and easy for me to keep up with. So Annette is saying accounting is not my favorite thing, but I know it's important. What CRM are you using? My CRM is not being used the way you may think. I'm using, I forget the name. It's called Zendesk Sell now. It used to be called something else. I got grandfathered in. It was just a simple app a long time ago, like when I first started my business. It was some years ago, and I started using it's really just a sales software so that you can track everything that you're using, but it's Zendesk Sell. I'm not using it as much because I'm not going after gigs the exact same way I was a few years ago. So it actually may be something that leaves my life at the moment, because I'm just not doing sales the same way at that time. You know, I'm not doing sales the same way I was a few years ago. So I haven't found any other CRMs that I like, but I have liked Zendesk Sell. Like I said, it was called something else, and I honestly don't remember the name. But the fact that I can keep up with all conversations, keep up with all of the conversations, phone numbers. I can even have a dummy phone number inside of it and make calls with it. I actually did like it a lot. So my price is grandfathered in. It's a lot more expensive now because I kind of got into something. It's like $20 a month or something. It's like crazy how cheap it is. So I have to I hate when they do this, when you're using something and you don't really use it as much, but they jack the price up so much, and you're just like, I don't know if I should keep it, but it's cheap, and because I'm never going to come back again. So we'll see. I have a whole. Actually have until summer to make that decision. But that's the CRM I've been using. So for those of you who are here on FreshBooks, I mean, not FreshBooks, but on YouTube, this is what FreshBooks looks like. And the pricing, I do absolutely like the pricing for it. It's $13.50 for Lite if you are only invoicing up to 5 clients. And this is perfect for those of you who are speakers, because even though you may go in, you can delete a client, it doesn't delete the invoice or anything like that. So I do like this if you're just needing something very basic to keep up with some of the things that you're doing in business. And of course, if you are doing a lot of work, if you're doing workshops, consulting, and speaking, this is actually a really good one for you because you can track hours inside of this as well. And the fact that everything can just be templated out when you are deciding, if you want to go and pitch a workshop or something like that. So I just like it because it was just fairly simple, fairly seamless. I actually think you can try it for free. I can't log in. I'm not going to log in for you because you're going to see all my finances, so I'm not going to show you that. But I think you can try it for free for about 14 days. But just give it a look. There's a link for those of you on YouTube. There's a link down in the description box. Go give it a try. Let me know what you think. But the biggest thing is, no matter what you are using, you don't have to use FreshBooks. You can use QuickBooks. You can use Xero. I want you to stop just, using a PayPal or something. I want you to actually get into some type of accounting software so that you can properly track revenue, cost of goods, and profit. That's what we need to start doing, is tracking everything you're doing so that you can determine whether or not speaking is making sense. And some of you might find that you are spending more money than what you are making. That's why I want you to start using accounting software so that you can do a proper profit and loss statement each month so that we know what's going on. All right, that's all I have for you. If you have any questions, all you have to do is put them in the comment box, in the comments. I will make sure that an answer appears. Of course, if you got any other questions around finances, the business of speaking, just let me know. I'm going to be here every day until we take a break every now and then. But I'm going to be here for a while and every day until we take a break, and then I'll take a break and then we'll come back. And if you need help finding speaking gigs, I want you to go check us out at iFindYouClose.com. It is our anniversary month. I'm so excited. I don't know what we got planned, but it's just, I'm just excited. It's 2 years in business, 2 years. You have no idea when it's 2 years and you're making money. Woo! Yeah. All right, so go check us out. And of course, I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, I got to say bye twice. Bye.